Okay, welcome everybody. First, we're going to have a public meeting before our council meeting. So the public meeting this evening is being held under the Planning Act and involves a zoning bylaw amendment application related to the property at 7000 County Road 18. This public meeting is a separate item from tonight's regular council meeting. Procedure for the public meeting will be as follows. 1, to start, the planner will confirm how notice was given for the zoning amendment application, then outline the proposed amendment and summarize any comments received to date. 2, after hearing from the planner, the meeting will be open to anyone who may have registered a request with the clerk to attend this meeting to address council. I would ask that any persons wishing to speak on this matter to please give your full name and street address for the record. 3, once everyone wanting to speak has been heard, the public meeting will be closed. All questions should be directed through myself as chair. I now ask the planner to advise how notice was given, to outline the application, and advise of any comments received. Melissa, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. For the public meeting this evening, the method of notification it was published in the Brockville Recorder and Times on December 23rd. This meets our requirements under the Planning Act of providing notice 20 days in advance of this public meeting. Prescribed agencies under the Planning Act were also circulated as required under the Planning Act, as well as township and departments were internally circulated. In addition to this, as per the township's past practices, we also circulated to property owners within 400 feet of the subject property. This was done by personal notice by mail on December 15th. So it should be noted for anyone hearing this application tonight, if they file an appeal of the decision of the township with respect to this proposed amendment, and they do not make oral submissions at this public meeting, or they do not make written submissions to the township before the proposed amendment is adopted by bylaw or otherwise considered by council, then that person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of council to the Ontario Land Tribunal. That person or public body may also not be added as a party to the hearing unless it is the opinion of the Ontario Land Tribunal that there are reasonable grounds to do so. Further, as noted in the notice of the public meeting, if anyone wishes to receive a copy of the decision, they do need to make a written request for that notice to the clerk. So with respect to the amendment before council this evening, the property is currently a 3.95 acre lot, and it's located on County Road 18. The purpose of this application is to rezone the property. It's currently CR, which is a rural commercial zone. It's proposed to be rezoned to a site-specific CR rural commercial zone of CRX2. This would recognize and permit the current wildlife conservation and management contractors service retail store as an additional permitted use on the property. There's some other site-specific provisions that are also being proposed in the amendment. We would be introducing a new definition of wildlife conservation and management contractor service retail store. We would be permitting a maximum accessory building a height of 24.6 feet. Currently only 5 meters permitted in the existing CR zone. We would be permitting a maximum accessory storage building size of 4,500 square feet. And we would be permitting up to 18 parking spaces and a minimum of 1 loading space for the on-site proposed use of the property. Comments received to date on this application. We did receive an email from South Nation Conservation on December 19th advising of no concerns. No other comments have been received to date on the application.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. We now open the floor for any public questions or comments.
Right beside the hall.
Any questions or comments going once? Going twice? Nobody online, I believe?
No.
Going 3 times. We will now close this public meeting. Thank you. Okay, we'll get to our regular council meeting. I'll call the meeting to order and land acknowledgement statement. Oh, I don't know. Whose turn is it? Did we all forget? Don't matter.
Augusta Township acknowledges that we live and work on ancestral territories of Indigenous people. The township recognizes all Indigenous people and honors their past, present, and future. The township values and respects their cultural heritage and relationship to the land.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Okay, Mayor's remarks. First of all, Happy New Year. And secondly is we're gonna have an exciting year. Okay, and I read in some of your staff reports, planning and recreation and fire and anyway. But the excitement was there, even in your reports. I could read just little things you said. But I'm excited. I told council that. And icing on the cake, of course, was Pensio. Like I said, coming in here throughout 2023, every 2 weeks, and either bothering Steve or Shannon, have you heard it? Have you heard it? So, that was a nice little Christmas gift. But now things are taking off and everything looks promising. What's that song? I'm so excited, you know. So, anyway, and I'm glad the staff is too, and counselors are too. So anyway, we're doing a good job. Let's keep the momentum going. Just a note to counselors and staff. I, on occasion, probably once a week, I'll flip over to Richmond Cardinal, Town of Prescott, Elizabeth Town Kitley, and I'll look at their agendas, you know, their upcoming meetings and stuff, just to see what's on there. But I also, sometimes I'll go to YouTube and take a look at their meetings. But I advise you to do that. Just hop around. And if you see something you like that they're doing, bring it forward, you know. Nothing's in concrete here. We, as a council, can decide on something, but I mean, as far as even protocols and the way we're doing our meetings and stuff like that. So, and the same with staff, you know, some of the staff reports, you know, you read through those. So, you know, we're open. Just don't be afraid to use a little bit of venture and just kind of look at everybody else's. But then what I do, it's more encouragement for me that we're doing things right here. So let's kick off. I don't know why I was half asleep when I wrote this one. Let's kick off with 2024. We're gonna have a great year, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so next on the agenda is approval of the agenda. And let me get my, moved by Deputy Mayor Winans, seconded by Councillor Pape. Be it resolved, the agenda for January 15th, 2024 be adopted. Is there any changes, additions? Anyone? Councillors? No? Staff? Sorry, Shannon?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I think we want to add an in-camera session in regards to, maybe the clerk can read what we have for the in-camera session.
Yeah, so litigation, just from a litigation that was out there that has come to a resolution, labor relations, and then acquisition and disposition of property. So it's actually quite a bit, a closed session, but.
Okay, so my thoughts here. We didn't really, like on the right one, yeah, we didn't really put anything down, did we?
No.
So I guess it's okay. It was quiet. We're having a closed session, yes. Right? You're gonna have to write that down.
Yes, we'll have to add it to the minutes, but no, there was no closed session till this morning, but things kind of came.
Okay, all right, understood.
So it's either council can add it or wait to the next meeting.
No, we'll definitely add it. Council's in agreement?
Yeah.
Yeah. We forgive you. All in favor? Carried. All right, next we have, sorry guys, approval of the minutes of the previous meetings. Moved by Councillor Page, seconded by Deputy Mayor Winans. Be resolved that council approve the minutes of the December 11th, 2023 council meeting as distributed to all members. So everybody's read through them. Is there any changes, additions? No? Everybody's happy? Good, I'll call the vote, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Next we have this disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Does anyone have anything to bring forward? See nothing, okay. Business arising from the minutes? Anyone? No? Delegations, presentations, first time back this year, so I imagine next meeting we'll probably have somebody, but nothing now. Correspondence and petitions, and this has to do with the Rideau, Mississippi Source Protection Committee selection. So, CAO, do you want to take that one, or do you have someone else in mind? Basically, I think they're looking for 2 members or 1
They're
member.
looking for 2 members, I believe. Just quickly here.
I don't think they were looking for 2.
No, one.
There's one.
One.
And they're making their suggestion, not that we have to take it, but it is for your worship, it is a big catchment, one for a big catchment area. It's not like for Augusta, it's,
Yeah.
And I guess Eleanor, what's her last name? Eleanor Renaud. She has been on it for quite some time, and they're quite happy to have her back again. And they're just looking for a nod from council, but if council has a different idea, they can certainly bring that forward and they'll look at it at their meeting, but it is up to them, I think.
And this was for, or if I read it correctly, I think municipalities that do not have sewage and water,
Correct.
right?
It's
Yeah, I read it.
Source Protection Committee.
Source water protection.
Yeah.
Any comments? Yes.
I've been on the Seventh Nation Source Water Protection Committee. I was on it, but I had to step down because I became a member of the board. But it is an important committee. They do a fair bit of work, and it's also a very well-paid committee. It's $275 per diem. They've got tons of money from the province.
Okay, anything else? Any other questions? All right, moved by Deputy Mayor Moynihan, seconded by Councilor Pate, whereas the City Rideau Source Protection Committee, SPC, term expires in 2024, and whereas Eleanor Renaud has served on the SPC since 2007, and whereas Eleanor Renaud has been expressed interest in renewing her term on the SPC, whereas the SPC expressed that her continued presence on the committee would be beneficial. Now therefore be resolved that council endorse Eleanor Renaud to represent the Knoll Municipal Drinking System, Water System municipalities on the Mississippi Rideau Source Protection Committee. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, next we have reports. And county's council, sorry. Okay, we had joint services meeting a couple weeks ago, or last week, I should say. We had a presentation from Indwell. Some of you might have read that in the paper. It's basically a firm that tries to help the homeless. The other ones that have been in the paper, if you read the Recorder and Times, you know, that Brockville's and the counties have asked for a, you know, just for them to look at Brockville, if they can do anything in Brockville. It's an organization that's still, a lot of their funds are strictly rely on government. And if the government funds don't come through, it makes it difficult. Now, most of the cities they dealt with, I think it's 4 or 5 cities, are all in the Sarnia area. So for them, they kind of said, for us to come to the east part of the province, you know, we'd have to have a lot of insurance. Yeah. So I didn't get too hopeful about it. Anyway, it's also a faith-based company. Okay, so that's kind of where they come from. And helping others and stuff like that, so. we had that as a presentation. We had the budget. Paramedics, again, seem to be a big problem. Big problem, what I mean by costs. Almost an increase of 728,000 this year. Mostly around people. I'm not saying the paramedics are doing anything wrong. It's just the amount of people, the WSIB costs and everything involved with paramedics is just crazy. Insurance, I think, went up, well, from last year to this year, like 37%. And they can't really shop around the counties because there's only really two companies they can only deal with, Intact and another company. So it's not like the smaller municipality like us, where we go out and maybe get 3 or 4. They can't. So insurance costs are killing everybody, so. And they talked about also provincial services, which is the POS, provincial offenses. And they gave a couple explanations for this, but the two I picked up right away were in 2018, this is all of Leeds and Grenville. In 2018, the police issued, or there was 14,502 tickets issued, okay? In 2023, there was 7,948. So almost half of that. So you gotta ask yourself, why? Have we got enough police on the roads? Have we got this, that? Nobody really had a good answer for that. So, anyway, less, also, the courts aren't producing the tickets. So in order for somebody gets they've got to go to court, get fined, they pay the fine, comes back through that way. But if they don't go to court, and one of the reasons they haven't been holding court is that they're missing, not missing, but they have 2 justice of the peaces that need to be filled. So they can't hold a court case until they have those. And it takes a year for to train one. So if you want to be a justice of peace, you got to go a full year of training. So that's the whole. There is 2 in the training realm right now, but it's not going to get better. So all these fees, the revenue, basically comes into counties. But when it doesn't, then you have an offset, a deficit, right? And it's close to $500,000, you know, and it just doesn't stop. So this was another program that basically the province looked after, and they forced it down to the counties. Probably because they didn't have the money there either. So anyway. Okay, next was we had a committee of the whole. We mostly talked about Roma delegations. We've got about, I think about 5 delegations, and they were coming in as of yesterday. And their times were a couple Monday, couple Tuesday afternoon. So anyway, it's just different delegations. For example, long-term care, EDRs, a couple others, just childcare, that sort of thing. And Deanna Clark is retiring January 25th, just so everybody knows. So that's about all I got from counties, unless anybody has some questions. No? Okay. Conservation authorities, Deputy Mayor.
Okay, the conservation authorities didn't have a meeting in December, haven't had one since our last council meeting, so really nothing to report. Did get one piece of correspondence, and that is the government froze their part of their budget again. So whether they're gonna have to readjust their fees or not that they sent out, but I won't find that out till our next meeting on budget.
Any questions for Deputy Mayor? No? Okay, recreation? Anybody want to take a stab at it? Too early in the morning, in the year, to have any meetings? No?
I was supposed to have one last Tuesday for Merck. It was canceled due to the weather, but the last one just before Christmas. Just an update that they're having a Winter Fun Fest February 24th, and the library is teaming up with them with the Lennon Library.
Yeah.
So I have a meeting tomorrow night for Merck, so I'll have an update at the next meeting.
Right, yes.
Yeah, North Augusta Rec had their meeting last Tuesday, and they discussed some of this a little bit more on their wish list, but also on the proposed project, if it goes ahead, and the timeline. And, of course, Shannon couldn't make it, and yeah, so. Anyway, we kind of muddled through it, and we also did our elections, and so the board is staying the same.
Okay. Any questions, Deputy Mayor? No? Okay, library board?
Not much of an update. It was kind of a year-end thing, a potluck. But they said that their budget at the next meeting will be done so that when we do ours, they'll be ready for us. And they wanted me to pass on to Public Works, Johnny, for you guys, that they're absolutely 100% pleased with the plowing of the library parking lot, the church, and the salting and taking care of the sidewalks. So they wanted to say thank you.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right, let's move on to Economic Development Tourism Committee. And are you gonna say a few words?
I can. We talked about the pop-ups and also talked about the day of breakfast. I think that was the two major things that were kind of covered, and
Maker's Map.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is still, we just kind of reviewed things, but, yeah, the mayor's breakfast is March 22nd, I believe.
22nd.
22nd?
22nd.
And it's our Roebuck this year. Okay, planning committee.
well, we didn't have a planning committee. Our planner skipped out on holidays. So, our next meeting is in February.
Gonna be on holidays,
And you've lost a good, long-time resident and friend who's on the planning committee too, which is Jonas, right?
Yeah.
I think we made good representation. We had good comments from the family. They were glad we put the flags at half-mast and, you know, said a few words in our webpage too, so. Okay, administration, CEO.
Yeah, just a few items to report. So for council who's going to Roma this weekend, we do have delegations approved through the Ministry of Transportation as well as the Ministry of Education. So we've got one delegation on Monday and the other one will be Tuesday morning. So we'll be sending the ministries some information over the next few days so that they have a debrief before our meetings. And then a thank you to Finance and to Mark for the interim audit. So the interim audit, it was completed last week. So they'll get through the next couple of months and then come back in, I believe, in March to complete their final audit. So hopefully we'll be on track to have financial statements issued, hopefully in June of this year for council. So. Attorney.
No, I was glad to see them here last week, so. Any questions for the CAO? No? Okay, move on. Moved by Councillor Page, second by Deputy Mayor Winans. Be it resolved that council receive Parks, Recreation and Facilities year-end report. So, do you want to add anything, Kate?
No.
No. Does anybody have any questions, comments? No.
Good report.
It was a good report. I just had one question. I'm trying to find it here. Playgrounds for Maynard and Donville will be installed in the spring of 2024.
Yes.
So, are they under the CCRF fund?
No.
Have they been paid for already?
We have till the end of June 2024 to complete.
Okay, so,
Under our accessibility fund.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, so we have till June, so.
So it's not a,
no,
For your worship, it was more the Masonic Hall and then demolished, so.
oh, so they switched, okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you. No, good report. Any other questions, comments? No, it was a good report. got me excited as I read through.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Did I read this already? I'm getting too excited here. I think I did, didn't I? Yes, I did. I'll call the vote. All in favor? Carried. Oh, it's an exciting year. I can feel. Moved by Deputy Mayor Winans, seconded by Councillor Pate. Be resolved, the council accepts the attached statement of revenue and expenditures as of December 31st, 2023 for information. Okay, any questions, comments? Nobody? No more pizza. I have questions. I guess, first of all, I don't like the bottom figure where it says 377,182. I know there's nothing we can do about it right now, but I'm just,
Your worship,
yeah,
there still is $400,000 worth of transfers to be brought into revenue. So once that amount is brought in, then your $377,000 deficit would become a $100,000 surplus. And also, there still are 2023 invoices to be processed. We'll probably be processing those usually into February. Sometimes we will have other invoices.
so we've got money we got to pay out, but we're sitting with a little bit of surplus right now, so we don't know where we're sitting, really. So council right now doesn't know what they're, before we sit down and even talk about budgets, they'd like to have some idea. You know, was it a horrible year, 2023? Because when I look at this, it was. And I think, again, I'm going through, I've got a couple of them highlighted here. Transfer from reserves. What else? Fire. Okay, we've got variance of 423,000 for fire. Roads capital, 709,000. And recreation, 100,000. I can see recreation being a little bit, but tell me what's going on with fire and roads. Am I out in left field?
No,
Like when I
no,
look
you're
at
not.
this?
No, there's still some, your worship, there's still some expenses that have not been, we haven't got invoices for them, or they haven't been processed yet. So some of those amounts, the fire, I believe, is a 2020, it's a truck, I believe. The difference. I think that's what it is.
The $400,000?
Yes.
This is the first time I've seen this. The 849,000, like our budget is 1.2, and I'm within, I just finished up my budget today, or we're still waiting on about a bill from Prescott for approximately $35,000 for coverage. And we will be over budget, I believe, by about $5,000 or $10,000 by the time things are all said and done. And most of that is because we budgeted $25,000 in revenue from 401 calls, from accident calls on our highways, and we only ended up getting 5,000. So we didn't get the revenue in that we thought we would get.
All right, so just chief, let's just do this, walk me through the slope. Year-to-date actual was $850,000. Okay, your budget was 1.2. Okay, so then you got a variance of, say, 425,000, right? 423,000. Are you looking at the same thing I am?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I can't answer for these
No.
numbers. I'm gonna have to pass it off to our treasurer.
Your worship, I will check the number. Like I said, that was what was in our system, and I'm not sure if there's something that hasn't been processed.
well, no, I'm just saying, it's the chief under budget, 425,000.
No, I can guarantee you we're not.
But
No, and
you know that.
Yeah.
This council doesn't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And roads capital, you were under $800,000. Are you?
no, he's actually over by $800,000 because some of those expenses
All right,
are
well, yeah,
from
I
the previous
understand
year.
Yes, that one's over, sorry. Okay, tell me why it's over.
Because some of those expenses are from previous year that were carried forward to this year. So they were amounts that were budgeted in 2022 and they were spent in 2023.
And what wasn't spent went into reserve? In 2022?
Yes. And that's why we still have amounts that have to be transferred from reserves into,
I think what we need, as I said in my remarks, I look at other municipalities, all right? And they're all doing the same thing right about now, okay? And I can read theirs. Okay, which means transfers in, reserves transfers in, reserve transfers out, because I got a feeling our public works manager, not John, no, buy a beer anyway this weekend, but anyway, doesn't have a clue what he's walking into as far as funding. He's gonna present me his budget, but he doesn't know if he has a deficit already. Do you? I'm just picking on you, but that's the point I'm getting at. So, I don't know, council, I'll cool off in a minute, because I'm excited, but I don't want to be this type of excited. So I urge you to look at other municipalities and see how their forms are. And I think we gotta have something like what's going in our reserves, what's coming out of our reserves, so we can make decisions. Yes, yeah.
So a few things I will add is, normally, when you're dealing with 2 fiscal years, you usually have a lag when it comes to
Right.
invoices that are coming out. But certainly by budget time, those invoices should already be accounted for within our 2023 budget.
Yeah.
So at budget time, we will have a pretty good idea on where we're at with whether it's a surplus or deficit. Now, of course, it'll have to be audited by our auditors. So things might get changed a little bit here and there, but certainly why we wait for our transfers to be done at the end of the year is, for example, is if council approved a transfer, or say approved a truck for 100,000 and it was to come from the reserves, but the truck only came in at 95,000, then that's all we're transferring is that 95,000. We're not transferring that full 100,000. So there'll be some savings left in the reserve. So I'll work with Mark and certainly we'll go through.
But we don't see that now.
Yeah, exactly right. So we'll make sure that we have a pretty good financial information package for council at budget time so that council's confident on kind of where we're at, whether it's deficit or surplus.
Yeah, because we just had a, lecture on asset management.
Yeah.
They're all keyed up. They know how things are gonna work. But if they're not working at this level, we got a problem. Anyway, yeah, if we could please, because let's try to have something before we even start budget.
Sure.
Anyway, I'll leave it at that. All right, I read that. Any other comments, anybody? I'll call the vote, all in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Page, seconded by Deputy Mayor Wyans, be resolved that council authorize the surplus/deficits on December 31st, 2023 be transferred as follows. Fire Department surplus is deficit to and from Augusta Township, fire vehicle equipment reserve, Public Works roads surpluses deficit to and from the Capital Roads Reserve, Building Department surpluses deficit to and from the Building Department Reserve, and that all of the surplus deficits are transferred to and from the Working Funds Reserve to be utilized by council to offset the future budget, but if required. Any comments, questions? That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'd like to see that on paper. Instead, I gotta read it. Okay, I want to see the figures. To me, it's confusing, but. Anyway, any more comments? All in favor? Carried. Yeah. Moved by Deputy Mayor Winans, seconded by Councillor Payne, be resolved that council receive the Public Works 2023 accomplishments as prepared by the acting Public Works Manager dated January 15, 2024 for information. Council comments, questions? They're a quiet bunch, John. Anyway, very good report, John. Yeah, I like you listed, all the projects you completed. So, no, it was good. Some most of my, I knew, so that was great. No, good report. I'll call question, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Planning. Moved by Councillor Page, seconded by Deputy Mayor Winans, be resolved that council receive the planners report for 2024-001 for information. Comments, questions? Oh, that's nothing to say. I'm just looking for a comment here. Where's she, sorry, Melissa.
That's okay.
Do you have anything you want to add, Melissa, while you're doing this?
No, your worship, it's just nice, this has been a bit of a long process. It's been pretty much going on since I started at the township, so it's nice to see the resolution and some finalization to the work that the township put into that project.
I'm looking for your statement where it says, and you got me going on this, I'm looking forward to an exciting year for 2024.
Oh, your worship, that's in the planning report at the end. This is the
Yeah.
this is the land use strategy project report still. We're not there yet.
Yeah. All right, we'll save that one. All right. Anyway, good report. Any comments, questions? No? Call the question, all in favor? Carrie? Moved by Deputy Mayor Winans, seconded by Councillor Page, be resolved that council received the building department activity report for December 2023 for information. I don't suppose there's any questions or comments, so. And good report, numbers look good. I call the question, all in favor? Carry. Moved by Councillor Bonas, second by Councillor Henry, be resolved to see the planners report 2024-003 for information. And this is where Melissa says, really, we're gonna have an exciting year, like the mayor said. With some anticipated new industrial and commercial development in the township and the finalization of the LDUS, the year ahead is expected to be very active and exciting year for the planning department. Augusta.
See, we get started.
So I think I've asked, sorry, any questions, comments from the planner? I've asked you this before, and I think I know the answer. Who determines it's going to be 4 acres commercial industrial and 2.5 acres residential? And just for their, official plan, but you said it all has to do with the number of people in our area and all these other factors that the county looks at. And anyway, we'll have to do something about that in 2024. So. Any other questions, comments? All in favor? Good thing I'm not a comedian. More pizza. Moved by Moved by Councillor Henry, seconded by Councillor Bowman, be resolved the bylaw number 3675-2024 being a bylaw to amend the official plan for the Township of Augusta, amendment number 4, be read a first time, second time, and a third time be enacted as read. Any questions, comments? Okay, call question, all in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Bowman, seconded by Councillor Henry, be resolved that bylaw number 3676-2024 being a bylaw to appoint bylaw enforcement officers for the purpose of enforcing the parking bylaw be read a first time, second time, and third time, and be enacted as read. Any comments, questions? And who are the two bylaw officers? Council?
Johnny and Tom.
Thank you. Okay.
See, we've been.
Oh,
Is this something you wanted or just something forced on you?
So it hasn't been updated for years. It's probably three road managers. And needless to say, we are having issues of plowing across the road, parking on the street. So the other day we had two cars, one on one side pointing the same way in Maitland, and we could barely sneak our plow and our wing through. And we've had some issues, of course. I've talked to some residents regarding plowing snow across the road and leaving the windrows for it to be frozen. So I've talked to some for danger on the roads. Yes, it's definitely a must, I believe, in this township. For lighting.
good. Call question, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, announcements, any announcements? Councillor Payne?
Your worship, more so just a comment. John, I wanted to just give a shout out to your team. It was a challenging, I guess, week where we had winter for the first week of the year and, rain, snow, freezing rain, blowing snow, and your team did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
And so please pass that on. And I think Public Works doesn't get near the recognition they do. It's a thankless job, long hours, and you guys did a great job.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, just if somebody, if you want to put this in your calendar, we have our date set for our Grenville Annual Federation Banquet, March 8th. It'll be at the Drummond Building this year.
Any reason you switched buildings or just curious?
Just, we are hoping to increase ticket sales and we were fairly full at Roebuck, so. And, because, Drummond Building's an agricultural society, they want to try and get more agricultural groups there, so they're giving us a preferred rate for this year, for us to try to evaluate and see how it works. I know I went there last year for the Optimist Club and it was really good.
Okay, good. Any other announcements? I got one here, the clerk handed me was the agricultural area review, local area consultation meetings. And it's being held Tuesday, February 6th, 1 o'clock for the Township of Augusta. So we'll be held here in Chambers. So it's February 6th, 1 o'clock, and that has to do with the agricultural area review, which you've probably read a lot of. Because I think there's always something on the emails every week. Okay, no announcements, no press, I believe.
No.
The questions from the public, Lori?
I have a couple.
Yeah.
The first one is, I read in the minutes and the recreation board about the emergency evacuation when they were talking with MTJB.
Yep.
That they would use the council as an evacuation. Why wouldn't you use Roebuck Hall? That's why you always,
Just you need somewhere close.
oh, somewhere.
Remember, you got the 200 little kids, if they gotta get out of that building, I imagine half of them be half dressed, and
Oh.
then they walk them over to here till the parents come to get them.
Okay, that,
Because they couldn't call for buses because you don't know what the emergency would be.
oh, okay.
That's my interpretation of it.
Okay, and then the second one is the bylaw people that they're hiring for the
Huh?
ground roads and that. Is that staff you already
No,
have?
yes, we're not
Is-
hiring anybody there.
And you don't use the bylaw person that you share with Prescott, or do we have our own person now?
CA will give us an
Yeah,
update.
so we appoint our public works staff as parking because they're out in the middle of the night. So our law enforcement officer only works during the day, so this allows them the opportunity to enforce when they're out in their plows and they see cars parked in the street.
And the same with the plowing across the road, are they going to go
Yes.
into the houses that they see the snow?
Yep.
Across the road?
They will follow up as well too. Yeah, so it's no new additional staff, it's the current staff we
And
already have.
will they just give them a warning the first time, and then the second time, they'll tell them, if we come back down this road and we see it again, you will be issued a fine? Or?
Usually we try and educate first and let them know that it's, there's a proper procedure, and if they continue to do that, then we'll certainly fine accordingly, so.
And because I know on my road, it's been going on for years and nothing's ever been done.
Okay.
That I think they think plowing it across and putting it down into the ditch
Yeah.
is fine, but I guess it's not.
Yeah, we'll watch your road.
No, I'm just saying, like, I've seen it on other roads too, and like,
Yeah, and certainly we're limited in staff, so we can't be everywhere and see everything, right? But certainly as we see it, it gives them the ability to enforce.
oh, okay, no, I just wondered, okay.
Okay, anything else, Lauren? Good?
Nope.
Thank you. Okay, do we believe we have a closed session? So moved by Councillor Henry, seconded by Councillor Bowman. Be it resolved that council move in a closed meeting at 7:55 PM. Sorry, 6:55 PM as per municipal act, chapter 25, section 2001, section 239, brackets 2, to discuss proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality, potential purchase of land by the municipality, potential disposition of land by the municipality, labor relations, employee matter update, litigation, and litigation briefing. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay. Well,
You're good.
I can go because I'm not at a closed yet. Councilor Henry, be resolved that closed session is adjourned at 7:37 PM and that council resume the open meeting to report out. All in favor? Carried. You. See, now I'm open. Moved by Councilor Henry, second by Councilor Bowman, be resolved the council met in closed session to discuss a potential purchase of land by the municipality. And took no action beyond receiving information from staff. All in favor? Carried. Oh, you're fussy. Oh, only one for each one of them. Moved by Councilor Bowman, second by Councilor Henry, be resolved the council met in closed session to discuss labor relations. Council took no action beyond receiving information. So provide instruction to staff.
Yeah.
Provide instructions to staff. All in favor?
No, we did make one motion.
That's providing instructions.
Provide instruction. That's a motion.
Administrative motions are allowed in closed.
Okay.
Moved by Councilor Henry, seconded by Councilor Bowman, be resolved the council met in closed session, discussed litigation. Council took no action beyond receiving information from staff. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councilor Bowman, second by Councilor Henry, be resolved the bylaw number 3677-2024 confirm the proceedings of council of the Township of Augusta at its meeting held on January 15, 2024. Be read a first time, second time, third time, and be enacted as read. All in favor? Carried. And moved by Councilor Henry, second by Councilor Bowman, be resolved that council do now adjourn at 37 PM
Yeah.
until February 12th. Is that when their next meeting is?
That's what was hopefully discussed, but if not, then it has to be discussed now.
She's yours. She's yours. She's not mine.
So does council, being January 29th is our next council meeting, does council still want to go ahead with that council meeting, knowing that next week we're at Roma, so it'd be a pretty light agenda? Or would you rather wait until the next meeting in February? It's totally up to council.
I think we should do it on the 29th, unless somebody else has got something going on.
Any other comments?
There's no agenda items, you don't think?
There might be, it'd be a very light agenda. Yeah, because I won't get back till Tuesday, so the agenda probably won't go out till probably Friday. So I'll totally leave that up to council. I don't think there's anything pressing right now, or certainly can wait till February, but
I
certainly
would say leave it
council.
till February then, in my opinion, if there's nothing pressing, but if there is, then do it.
Consensus? Michelle?
I'm good either way, it don't matter to me.
There's nothing on the agenda that's pressing. And I hate having a meeting for the sake of having a meeting, but if there's something comes up, unless you want to leave it set and then we can always cancel it, which way is easier?
Yeah, we can leave it as the 29th and then cancel it if we need to.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I get back next week, we can see what's on the agenda, and if there's nothing really pressing, then we can send an email out to council and see what they want to do. Does that work, Annette?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor? Carried? We're done. Well,
January 29th.
you're the one that changed the date. I think you should.
I was taking direction.
From who? He didn't know about it.
Yeah, I did.